This is really no different from an AMC or a GameStop situation. It's all fun and games and it's all manipulation. You no longer have control over the assets, and then you have to kind of cover your bases from what you allow to be lent out, and that's where it becomes an issue. This is why we must remove our coins from the exchanges. Welcome back, YouTube. And in today's video, we're going to cover a very important topic. And I believe it's one of the most important topics that can be covered for Dogecoin. We're going to talk about why it is important that everyone in the community remove their Dogecoin from exchanges and into a cold wallet. And I'm also going to give you the one that I recommend in this video and also discuss what would happen if we were to do so. I'm going to walk you through the entire process, what a short is, why the hedge funds, the institutions, the brokerages, the exchanges, whatever you want to call them, why they are doing such things as lending these shares out, and how they're actually making money, and how they are also manipulating the price of the coin. So let's just get right into it. So what we're looking at right now is Bookmap. We're looking at pretty much the current price action, the buy and sell orders, and we're getting the equilibrium of price. The line is pretty much, you'll see the lines broken up between buy and sell orders, right? So those different colored lines, blue, yellow, red, on either side of those balls, those are going to be your buy and sell orders. Obviously, if it's below, that's going to be a buy order. So if you hit that pool of liquidity, you'll typically see, if it's green, you'll typically see if those orders execute and there's not a lot of sell pressure, you'll see it execute and bounce up, and vice versa. On top, it'll be sell orders. So if you hit those orders, you'll typically see a red ball, and potentially you'll get that breakdown if the buy orders are not overwhelming it. So right now we are pretty much literally in between two pools of liquidity on both sides. So this is kind of why, this is one of the reasons that you can see a coin kind of be stagnant and say that, oh, well, it's not really moving, what's going on? There's typically a battle going on in between those candlesticks, which is why I like programs like Bookmap, so that you can kind of get an idea to see what's going on. And this is very useful for trading. And I do have a link in the description for Bookmap if you want to use it. Now, why is this price action important? Well, this price action is important because you look at the price action of a coin and you'll say that, oh, well, if it goes up, that means people are buying. If it goes down, that means people are selling. But in our market, that is not necessarily true. You have the ability to create sell orders by simply taking a position, a negative position in a asset. And you can do this by borrowing from the exchange, from the institution, whoever's holding the assets. You can create a short position by borrowing the asset, and that immediately puts a sell order in for the current price. What you're hoping the asset does is go down in price, and you're able to collect the spread, and you're able to then buy the asset at that lower price and return it to the lender, and you get to collect the spread. So yes, if you're saying, how is that possible? How is that legal? In my opinion, it shouldn't be. It's blatant manipulation. But yes, you're right. You can enter into a position that you do not own and immediately create negative pressure on that position with a simple promise to buy that asset at a future date, hopefully at a lower price. If you know what a short is, forgive me, but I have to make this video make sense for where I'm going. Now, this is common practice for these exchanges to do because it generates revenue, right? So if you buy an asset, like if you buy Dogecoin, sell Dogecoin, you may notice that you'll see some little shavings on there, in addition to some slippage and stuff. But you will also see that, just similar to kind of like the stock market, they need a way to make money regardless of what the market is doing, especially in times like this. Because if the market is tanking and people are fearful, or they're not buying in like they usually do, or they're simply waiting on the bottom, they're saying, hey, look, let me see how things go. They're going to need a way to kind of offset that difference in revenue. And typically these short positions in the stock market, it's shorts and puts, but typically these short positions where they go out lending your coins, we're going to get into that, to make this additional revenue. The issue with this is, in addition to manipulating the price of the coin, is that normally they are lending the coins that they are simply holding, which is similar to what banks do when they lend out, when you go deposit your money and then they lend out your money for mortgages and auto loans and business loans and stuff like that. And they're making several times over the actual percentage, and then they pay you little to nothing. In the stock market, you have the option to kind of stop this. It's called share lending. And yes, you're going to have to go through some fine print, but typically you can find it and you'll be able to turn off your share lending. But just because this is such a huge revenue stream for these institutions, it's typically when you sign up, you're automatically enrolled. They don't ask you about it. Typically if you sign up for your brokerage account, you're automatically enrolled. To my knowledge, I'm unaware of a way that you can turn off lending in crypto. But you can see that Gary Gensler has recently said that the institutions are betting against their holders. And this is literally what he means with short sellers, because typically they don't care where it goes. It's kind of like, again, it's kind of like the bank. They don't care where the economy goes. They are going to make money on the spread. They're lending out. They're going to have their interest. They're not responsible for the assets. It's not their assets that they're lending. And the institution is, responsible for paying interest. And if they can't deliver on those, they just or if they want to extend it, they're just simply paying their fee, their interest. And, life goes on. They're just collecting, their spread in the meantime. All is well until the availability of the asset gets stretched thin. Now, we have institutions like Binance, and I do believe that there are other ones, but we know that over 82%, roughly about 82% of all of Dogecoin is held by these exchanges. So we know that that is roughly around like 110 billion coins of our 135 billion supply. And they have these little wraparound tokens, BSC, that they say is, similar to Doge, but what they're not doing is providing proof of assets, which is pretty much will show, okay, how much Dogecoin do you actually own? Because owning the actual coin compared to what you're lending out is two different things. Because we've experienced this in multiple markets before. This is something called fractional reserve banking. For every Dogecoin, does that BSC token equal 3? So in this case, does one Dogecoin equal one Dogecoin? Because if you are not providing proof of assets and you're using a wraparound token, you can say one Dogecoin can equal 3. Who knows what your actual asset holdings are? This is one of the issues. And this is one of the things that I was saying last year, that if we are not careful, the crypto market is going to turn into a mirror of the stock market, and we're going to have to deal with the same BS. And they are quickly building out pretty much a crypto version of the stock market. And again, all is well as long as they have control over the assets. This is really no different from an AMC or a GameStop situation. It's all fun and games, and it's all manipulation. You no longer have control over the assets, and then you have to kind of cover your bases from what you allow to be lent out. And that's where it becomes an issue. This is why we must remove our coins from the exchanges. They're lending them out at an alarming rate. And we can look at this in the short charts. Every time Dogecoin gets a positive catalyst or gets on a major rally, we see these short spike. What initially caught my attention was the abnormality of the way that these shorts were playing with Dogecoin. Now, typically shorts exist in just about every position. There are several ways to short. Obviously you have like lending, you have futures, you have margins. There's a lot of different ways that you can short a position. But what really caught my attention was the fact that Dogecoin was shorted immediately on any positive news before it even rallied. I was in the stock market long before I started, dabbling in crypto, and it only makes sense to short when you have an asset that goes on a run and you simply wait for, there to be a curve as far as for like in the buying pressure. And you make far more money when you wait on that curve and you wait for consumer demand to kind of, peak off a little bit. And then by that time, you had a nice run up and you've opened up that margin that you're going to be able to knock it down. You've made it, like that margin is a lot wider, and it's a lot easier to capitalize on that gain. But when you short something immediately on positive news, Elon says, we're going to accept it in the Tesla merch store. Dogecoin goes on a run. It's, like literally shorts come in after it's went up 0.2 of a penny. And shorts are coming in, hammering it, tripling, 200% for the day. And I'm looking at the charts like, what the hell? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Unless this is not necessarily about the money. This is about control of the coin. This is about steering this is about control of the price of the coin. This is about steering people away from the coin. And this is why I wanted to make this video, because institutions and people like this, they won't stop. They must be stopped. I'm going to take a look here at the chart, and then I'm going to get into what we can do to control and stop this manipulation. So if you take a look here, this is very similar to what we saw. The shorts are being more and more aggressive. We see the 21-day and the 72-day curving. We are still up above our 200-day moving average when it comes to shorts. And this is one of the things that I wanted to point out, because typically when shorts exit their position, or they come in, or they take most of them out, you'll see Dogecoin immediately rally. Dogecoin is able to move a lot more fluidly when there isn't the shorts or those fake sell orders in there. We know that Dogecoin is the most held crypto. We know that 65% of all wallets contain some Dogecoin. We know that the community is actively buying Dogecoin, and I can prove it right now. So if we look here, we'll see that shorts came out somewhat from their position here, and they were still pretty much set it right back on the 200-day moving average. What did Dogecoin do? Dogecoin rallied immediately. This indicates that that negative pressure that they're putting on Dogecoin is literally providing some of that resistance from those sell orders. Basically, are pretty much combating a lot of those buy orders that we're seeing here in Dogecoin. And they do not want to exit this position or have that big candle back down immediately, because that will allow Dogecoin to be more fluid. And again, like I've been saying the last few days, what you don't want is for a crypto to recover a lot faster than the one that you've chosen, the world's favorite crypto. And of course, I do believe that they do need more money, so that we're going to see further liquidation. So they're going to have to kind of keep the pressure on Dogecoin so that it appears to be trending down with the market. If the retailer is selling Dogecoin, why do we need shorts up above 200-day moving averages to create a downward slope? If we are selling off at the rate of any other crypto, we don't need shorts. There would be no need for shorts to be above the 200-day moving average and consistently and we're still rallying. We're still going up with shorts above the 200-day moving average. If we're selling, there will be no need for that. This is one of the reasons why the actual price that we're seeing is not the real price of Dogecoin. They're literally trying to combat it to create this slope to say, oh, look, okay, well, it's the entire market. Yes, most coins do. They trend down with the entire market. That is very, very true, but they do not do so at the same rate. There are some assets that are more held than others. But again, that cannot be obvious for Dogecoin, because Dogecoin is not the coin that they've chosen to lead the crypto market. So this was the point I was making. We're going to see a continuous increase in these short positions because they cannot afford to come out of Dogecoin right now. I do believe they still need money out of the crypto market, and it's really likely that we're going to see Bitcoin go down to some of those lower numbers I was speaking about. So they have to kind of keep these cryptos in check and make sure that they're not rallying too much. Otherwise, again, you can't have green in a sea of red. Otherwise, it's going to appear like a hedge and people are going to come running. That's what they do not want for Dogecoin. So this is why we see these partial covers where they'll come out, but they're maintaining the pressure to kind of keep that those sell orders against those buy orders in the price action. So how do we combat this? How do we take away them creating these fake sell orders to control the price and to get the price of Dogecoin down? This is bigger than saying, oh, we can have a squeeze if we just simply remove all the coins and they can't return the coins and they don't really have the assets, and then they're going to have to compete on the open market. This is bigger than us just having a squeeze. A squeeze would be terrific. That would be really, really amazing, because again, we know that 110 billion coins are held on by brokerages. We know that the majority of those belong to individuals, and this is not something just completely held by institutions. Yes, they may hold them in particular wallets, but we know that the community owns a lot of these coins. That only leaves about 25 billion coins available on the actual free float. If we remove our coins from these institutions, they're not sitting on those billions and billions of coins for them to loan out for these short positions. This will eliminate a lot of the manipulation that we're seeing, and we're going to see Dogecoin consolidate at its normal rate, with the community being held, and rise with its positive catalyst, with the community holding and buying around those times. We're not going to be able to see these shorts come in like this unless these institutions, these brokerages, they want to buy in on the open market and have their own Dogecoin. And I believe that's only fair. If you want to lend coins out to have them shorted against a position, buy your own coins. Don't use the coins that is being held for retail and say, okay, well, since we're holding these coins, how do we make money in the meantime? Because they cannot all want them at the same time. And this is very similar to a lot of the systems that we've already seen. If you want to lend coins out to be shorted, buy your own coins, compete on the open market, and then lend them out. We can do this, and we can make sure this happens by removing our coins and putting them in our own cold wallets. I recommend the Nano series. I have a link in the description to the cold wallet that I like, the one that I use personally. I believe that unless you're trading the coins, I know that you can, I know for convenience, it's easier to have some on the exchanges just for execution or if you need quick money. But if you're holding long-term, the vast majority of your coins should be out of the grasp of these institutions. The stock market does not have this option. You don't have the ability to take your coins away from the exchanges. That is the unique advantage that the crypto market has. You have the ability to remove your coins. And I think that we should take advantage of that, and the crypto market will work how it was intended to. Remember, not your keys, not your crypto. I know it's convenient to have it on there, but if we want to see true price action and not see this manipulation, we're going to have to take control of our crypto. We know the games that these institutions play. We've been watching it in the stock market for the last few years. They're going to do the same thing in the crypto market if we're not careful. If we remove the coins from these exchanges, we're going to see Dogecoin much closer and more fluid to its fair market value. And the best thing about it is if they refuse to come out of these positions, then and we do get a short squeeze, then Dogecoin will shoot past its fair market value, which will be even better. But I'm telling you now, based off of these charts and the way these shorts are unrolling and manipulating this coin, Dogecoin is not at its fair market value. Yes, Dogecoin would have consolidated. Yes, Dogecoin would have went down with the rest of the market. But I'm saying to you, it's lower than what it should be. Dogecoin is artificially lower now because of the manipulation. If Dogecoin was truly being sold out like this, we would not see the shorts playing the games that the way they are. We will not see them holding these positions that the way they are. We must remove the coins from the exchanges. This is part one of this series here. I wanted to explain why it was important to remove those coins from the exchanges, and then I'm going to create a hands-on, like, okay, well, here's how you remove the coin, specifically to the Nano, the one that I'm recommending. And again, if you are looking for the Nano, or if you are not sure, if you have any questions and stuff like that, again, I have a link in the description for you to purchase the Nano. This is extremely important for the Dogecoin community, so please share this video with a friend. It is absolutely free, and it actually supports the channel as well. It's also free to make sure that you and your friend are subscribed to the channel, and that also greatly supports the channel. I hope you found value in this video. Check out BlockFi as well. I have a link in the description. You can get up to $250 in Bitcoin or Ethereum just by opening up a new account. I appreciate all of you. Thank you. And until next time.